Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a Hummel. It's a tier 6 German SPG. This one's located on the north spawn of Siegfried Line and it's under the command of DavidG671. Now, you may have noticed this is a replay from quite some time ago. In fact, yes, it's pre-HD. It's from the 9.2 client. Long time ago. This is after Stun was introduced, but before they actually started bringing in the HD maps. Okay, you can see that DavidG671 is taking the Hummel third route into the field. He's actually going to sight it right next door to the bunker as it used to be. Okay, he's ready to go. Now, some of you actually noticed in the replays I did with the Waffenträger, the Waffenträger Alpha E100, and you said you rather like seeing the old maps, so we are going to be doing a number of replays, probably clearing most of our old backlog of replays as fast as we can, so people get to see what it was like back in the day when Arty was really quite powerful. Of course, that's not going to be for very much longer. In fact, you're going to see things now in this game which just won't happen in the future, because of course they're going to be completely neutering Arty, and it'll be impossible to get things like bombardiers or Radley Walters or Pools medals. That would just become a thing of the past. Arty will just be incapable of doing anything like that in the future. In fact, it's very unlikely they'll ever get a high caliber or a top gun. You see, Wargaming have decided they want to ruin the game, and it's only a few developers who are actually selectively pandering to the whims of the idiots who keep whining because they can't play the game with Arty. Arty's been in the game since it started, and these people are incapable of playing the game properly, and so they whine, and the developers listen to them, and they alter the game merely because these idiots can't play the game. Beautiful shot, that. Direct hit on an AMX 12-ton, blew him out of existence. Now you're going to see something rather special in this game. That's not the first tank that this guy kills. He's looking to put the hex on that AMX 1357F, and he's almost loaded. Standard loading is normally 29.82 seconds. Now, you may have noticed actually back in when this replay took place, I think it's 2017, or it may be slightly earlier than that, the shells look very much like the version of the sandbox that they're intending to bring in. Yes, they haven't really changed anything, they've just reformatted the old one. And there goes the AMX 1357. Did you notice that the sound and the tracer and everything look very, very familiar to the sandbox? Yup, because that's what it is. And all they want to do is bring in new shells and then diminish the power of Arty shells, so that effectively they won't be able to do the sort of damage they used to do in the past, and that will stop the whiners moaning for a while. But not for long, you see, because then they'll get to complain about something else. Something like tank destroyers or heavy tanks. They'll complain about them. Then they'll complain about wheelies and how they're ruining the game and they've got to be taken out. And it'll just be incessant complaints from the numpties who cannot play the game. The Muppets, who always are whining about this, that or the other. And they can't play it properly the way it is. Well, eventually they're going to complain, and you know, the people will start leaving the game because they won't enjoy it anymore. It's already started happening. I know quite a few people who play Arty are saying that they're no longer playing the game. They're playing other games because they don't like playing World of Tanks anymore, simply because it's lost its ability to attract them. And Wargaming doesn't seem to realise that a lot of Arty players are premium players, which means, of course, they pay the wages of the Wargaming staff, and once they've left the game, that means Wargaming are going to have to look for somewhere else to get their money. And I don't think Victor is going to be too happy if he's not able to buy a golden yacht or anything else, or his coffers are not showing very much return. That's very likely to happen, you see. When the profits are counted and they realise that they're not making as much money, they'll probably try and blame the fact that lovely kill there. They'll probably try and blame the fact that, oh, they must have been losing out to some other game. But no, it's your own fault because you decided to change the game and ruin it for all those people who were playing it quite happily as it was. Well, so far, David's managed to kill 3 enemy tanks, and all of them were light tanks. Now, I think if you know that if you kill all the light tanks in a battle, there is an award. Okay, he's just wounded that IKV-103, managed to get half his hit points. David's team is winning at the moment. There's no guarantee that they are going to win the game, but it does look good so far. Can he get around into this AMX M445? Oh, that might hit the building. Yeah, I thought so. He just fired just at the moment that he actually intersected the line on the corner of that building, and unfortunately it hit that instead. Okay, we've got the T-34-1, Chinese medium. Unfortunately, he just ram-killed our LTG. And we're loaded, but the only tank we've got in sight is this IKV-103 out in the field using his gun depression to try and attack our Comet. Now, they tend to be rather still when they're firing. He fires around in, it's going to land in front, yes. He didn't anticipate the IKV was going to pull back as far as it did. Things are not going well now. In fact, there's only 2 other teammates left in the game. The other one's the M41 HMC and of course the Comet in the south. All of a sudden, all our teammates got wiped out. And there goes the Comet. The IKV foxed him into going around one side of the building. In fact, actually, it wasn't the IKV that killed him. It was the AMX-13F3, but you can see David finishes off the IKV. But I'm afraid it's now looking very, very bleak for them because it's only 2 Arty versus 5 enemy. Now, if Wargaming had put their changes into effect, the team that has the 2 Arty would now be saying to themselves, well, we've lost this one. Because there's no chance that Arty will be able to save the game, as they've done many times in the past, if they've had the changes and their damage has been reduced and they're incapable of shotgunning an enemy tank and taking them out, because they just don't do enough damage to do it, or they don't get any stun. Yep, I'm afraid the game is going to get ruined because it's going to be predictable. Now, the enemy hasn't gone into the cap. The T-34-1 looked like he was going to go into the cap, but there's no sirens, so he's obviously hunting. And oh, I say a lie. I say that, and yes, he has gone into the cap. So obviously, and now he's left it, which means he is hunting. Yes, it means he only passed through the cap because he's looking for David. Well, David's view range isn't that great. It's only 265 meters. Which means he's not really going to see the enemy coming until they get really close, because he's over a ridgeline at the moment on this map, and so the enemy's going to have to get within spotting distance to see him. I'd say head south, but it's not really an option, because if you head south you're more likely to be spotted. He's seen the AMX M445, but he's also been seen, and he's just lost his driver because the M41 HMC on the enemy team knows where he is. Okay, his track's fixed, and he's now trying to get a shotgun on this AMX M445. fires around in this direction, and the M41 clobbers him again. And that T-34-1's going to get up alongside and shoot him inside. It's all going to be over. Yeah, there you go. Unfortunate, his team let him down, but at least he did end up with a medal. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. Here's the end of battle stats, and DavidG671, sorry for missing out the G there, managed to get a third class tanker in that game. He also got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He managed to get 10. He got a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He ended up with 4 exactly. And on top of all that, he ended up with an epic medal. He got a Nathan's medal. He took out all enemy light tanks in that game. And you can see the game took place 25th of November 2017, 4 years ago. Let's have a look at the team score and see how well he did. Well, he didn't get the highest damage in the game. Unfortunately, the high scorer was the AMX M445 with 2,424. The second highest score was their T-34-1, 1,798, and the third highest damage was the Oni on his own team with 1,749. David G managed to get 938, but yeah, that's a little way down the table. But when it came to kills, he was right at the top and shared it with the T-34-1 and the AMX M445. They both got 4 kills as well. When it came to base XP, I'm afraid it's the guys on the enemy team who came out on top here because they won the game. 1,044 to the AMX M445, 880 went to the T-34-1, and 635 went to the IKV-103 that he took out. David managed to get 310, second on his team, but it was still a good score. Let's have a look at detail. He fired 12 rounds in that game, got 2 direct hits and 2 penetrations. Did hit light tanks, and light tanks do have thin armour, so it's much easier to get penetrating shots. 6 splash damage as well. Damage of 938 hit points, all of it done at more than 300 meters. He did receive a hit. It was from the T-34-1 and it did pen. He also received 2 hits by way of splash from the M41 HMC. 4 enemy vehicles were damaged and 4 were killed, and he managed to get 4 stuns out of that game. On a premium count, he earned 19,714 credits, got 13,016 from personal reserves and 6,316 from the Achievements Award. That's for getting an epic or a battle hero medal in a losing or drawn game and recognises your extra achievement in getting a medal. 39,047 credits altogether, and after repair, ammunition, resupply and consumables, took away a profit of 13,610 credits. He picked up 465 XP, got 300 for the Achievements Award down here, 765 rather, from personal reserves, and took away 1,530 experience points altogether. I'm afraid, yes, his team let him down. He could have carried on if there'd been somebody to spot for him, but I'm afraid they all died out and left him holding the baby. And I'm afraid this is going to happen more often in the game because you won't be having Arty around to pull the rabbit out of the hat and win the game for you, because they won't be capable of doing that. They won't be capable of shotgunning anyone. They won't be capable of saving a game, getting a collar ban off. In fact, they won't be capable of a lot of things in the game. So even if you wanted Arty to save the game, I'm afraid it just won't be possible because wargaming will have prevented it from happening. So if you all die out, if all the light tanks, the heavy tanks, the mediums and the tank destroyers all get killed, don't cry to Arty to save you, because we won't be able to. We won't be capable of doing that because wargaming would have made sure that that's not possible. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.